and welcome. You're watching To The Point. Is there a revolt brewing against Rahul Gandhi becoming Congress president? Or is the media exaggerating the comments of a few individual Congress people? On the day Rahul Gandhi is supposed to return after a 56-day holiday, that's the debate in part 2. But first, perhaps as many as 4,000 people attended yesterday's Swaraj Samvad meeting organized by Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav. The meeting was designed as an attempt to regenerate and revive the principles the Aam Aadmi Party is based upon. But could it instead herald a split in the party? In turn, would that lead to the formation of a new party? And are Bhushan and Yadav the right people for that task? Those are some of the questions I shall put in a moment's time to Prashant Bhushan, who is tonight my exclusive guest. Prashant Bhushan, what would you consider the most important outcome or decision of yesterday's Swaraj Samvad meeting?
No, I think the most important thing emerging from that meeting was that such a large number of people from all over the country attended that meeting, and they were very enthused by the very fact that such a meeting had been organized. And that shows that the spirit of activism, idealism, and the desire to change the politics of this country, to change, in fact, the systems of this country for the better, is alive and kicking in the hearts and minds of thousands of people in this country, especially young people.
Okay.
And the main object of this meeting was to keep that spirit alive. Those who were feeling dejected, disappointed, disheartened by what they saw is the fall in standards or the fall from the founding principles of the Aam Aadmi Party. Okay. Their spirit, their idealism needed to be kept alive and kept going in a positive direction.
Now, you've launched a non-political outfit called Swaraj Abhiyan to fight for the rights of farmers, women, and the common man. Is this the main way you intend to revive and regenerate what you consider the lost or disregarded ideals of the Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, those are the ultimate goals that we need to move towards. That is what we need to discover through active engagement, discussion, debate, etc., especially amongst young people in this country, is the agenda for the new India. and the manner in which that agenda is to be arrived at, and the activism which is required and necessary in order to achieve that agenda, is through the principles on which Aam Aadmi Party was founded, namely the principles of transparency, accountability, democracy, and Swaraj. So we need to use those principles and tools in order to achieve or in order to get to the end of an agenda for a new India.
Can I ask you this?
And get people activated on that
Can I ask
agenda.
you this? In concrete terms, how will the Abhiyan fight for farmers' rights, women's rights, and the common man? Do you plan a nationwide yatra to awaken people to these concerns? Do you plan door-to-door campaigns? Do you plan rallies? What specifically do you have in mind for the next 6 months?
Well, the yatra, there will be a yatra which is to reach across to people all over the country in order to again regenerate the spirit of idealism and working selflessly for the country, in order to encourage a active, healthy discussion and debate.
This is a nationwide yatra. This is a nationwide yatra, yes, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, so to speak.
Yes.
And you will be part of it?
It won't be a yatra. No, it won't be a yatra in the sense of a padyatra, etc. It means that reaching out and going to all parts of the country in order to awaken people, in order to energize people, in order to engage people in not just this discussion, but in the activism which emerges from this discussion.
But will you be part of it? Because you're a full-time lawyer, you have many cases in the Supreme Court, you have many clients who depend upon you. Will you absent yourself from your Supreme Court work to be part of this nationwide yatra?
No, my primary responsibility is to the public interest cases that I am handling in the courts. But beyond that, just as I have been lending my support, that is the rest of my time, weekends, as well as my advice, my financial as well as legal support, I will continue to lend that kind of support to this, this campaign, this Swaraj campaign.
Now, the Times of India says that the Swaraj Abhiyan will be led by you and Yogendra Yadav. It will comprise a core team of some 49 people, and it will work for 6 months, at the end of which the Swaraj Samvad will meet again to decide on the future course of action. What do you believe are the options that will be available and open to you at that point of time, 6 months down the road?
Well, it need not be 6 months down the road. I have said that, see, a lot of people who came for this Samvad wanted us to immediately float a new political party, which I didn't think, or which we didn't think was a great idea, and eventually the majority of the people, that is 70% of the people, agreed with that, though 25% people felt that we should immediately float a new political party now that the Aam Aadmi Party has belied its founding principles. What we feel, what I feel is that though eventually we may need to, and we may feel the need to launch a new political party, but in order to get there, we must first be able to demonstrate at least two things. That this organization, that is this Swaraj campaign, can work on the principles, on the founding principles of the Aam Aadmi Party, that is, can work with complete transparency, inner party democracy, Swaraj, accountability, etc.
And the second?
And that it has generated sufficient enthusiasm and interest across the country, it has generated sufficient activism in the country for it to become a significant political force in the country. Only at that time, when that occasion arises, can we consider sort of converting it into a political party.
So if I read your answer correctly, at this moment of time and for the next 6 months, you are not planning to launch a political party, but at the end of 6 months, or maybe a little earlier, and depending upon how the Swaraj Abhiyan has fared.
Not earlier.
Okay, maybe later. And depending upon how the Swaraj Abhiyan has fared, you are quite open to the idea of launching a new political party. It all depends upon how the Swaraj Abhiyan fares.
Yes, that's right. You see, the reason why the Aam Aadmi Party was formed was when we realized that those who were in power in parliament, the established political parties, were not willing to change the laws or the systems in this country to bring in proper accountability, to bring in proper Swaraj, etc. And they had this arrogance that no honest political party can compete with them or defeat them in electoral politics. They challenged us that you defeat us in elections and come to parliament, then you can talk. And that's why, to challenge that arrogance and to demonstrate that it was possible for a different kind of political party, completely pure, completely honest, and functioning on the principles of transparency and Swaraj, etc., to challenge these established political parties.
I understand.
That's what we need to be able to demonstrate.
Can
and
I
that's eventually, you see, eventually, yeah.
Can I point out to you, in a sense, the 2 or 3 dilemmas that are inherent in the challenge you are willingly taking on? The challenge is to create a new, different, clean, transparent, totally democratic political party that is not just different to, but almost the opposite of those parties that exist. That is the challenge, and in a sense that is also what you believe Aam Aadmi, the party you had joined, failed to do. The problem is that the very brutal reality of Indian politics will inevitably require you to make compromises with principles and values. Arvind had to do that to win the 67 out of 70 seats he won in February. You sharply criticized him, and I put it to you that if 6 months down the road you decide to form a political party of your own, you will have to make the same compromises as well. Otherwise, you will win no seats and you won't be in a position to challenge or demand answers from the existing political parties. How will you handle that dilemma?
No, I don't think it is correct to say that Arvind or the Aam Aadmi Party was able to win this election only because of the compromises that were made, whether it was in terms of candidate selection or other ethical principles which were compromised. I don't think that was the reason why the Aam Aadmi Party won this election in Delhi. The Aam Aadmi Party won because it was still seen by the majority of the people to be a different kind of political party which was transparent, which was clean, and which was wedded to a concept of alternative politics in this country. I do not believe that these compromises are necessary and inevitable in order to win elections. You see, compromises can be made on issues of either strategy or on issues, even on issues of policy. I may have some views on a particular policy which may not be the view of the majority of the people in our party, and I may have to compromise with my views. But you can't compromise on principles, especially the founding principles, essential principles of transparency and Swaraj on which this party was founded.
Although you do believe that several founding principles, such as the nature of candidates who are to be fielded, and that's a particular problem, were principles that Arvind did in fact compromise on, and yet 67 out of 70 is the seats he won. That was a compromise that clearly yielded results, even if it's a compromise you found very difficult to accept.
No, I don't think that it's the compromise that yielded that result. I think we would have achieved as good or better results if we had not compromised on those principles and not selected those kind of candidates.
Okay.
Had we gone with what I consider to be ideal candidates for our party, we would have done equally well, if not better.
That's an interesting and intriguing counterfactual, but obviously neither you and I can prove it either way. Let me bring up a second handicap or problem you will face if you end up 6 months down the road deciding to launch a political party. Today, particularly, political parties need at their head and as a face a charismatic individual, an eloquent public speaker, someone who can attract popular support. Arvind manifestly did that for the Aam Aadmi Party. Can either you or Yogendra Yadav do it for the new party? I don't mean to be rude, but I suppose what I'm asking is, do the two of you have what it takes?
Well, you see, it's true that in the nature of politics today, one face, particularly if he is a charismatic face, does yield some political dividends. But it is not necessary that you should have, see, there are many parties which win elections which do not have a charismatic face of this kind. I can name many of them. Besides, you see, the time has come for us to develop a new kind of culture and to promote a new kind of culture in politics, that is of decentralized leadership, of mass leadership,
except you're
where
going,
you have many faces, many leaders emerging,
culture,
and not just projecting one person.
But the new culture you want to promote is going against the grain and tradition of what has been happening for the last 20, 30 years in India. Look at Jayalalitha, Naveen Patnaik, look at the DMK, Mamata Banerjee, look at the Badals, look at any political party that has begun. It's always had at the front a person with charisma that cuts through and attracts popular appeal. When you try and do it differently, you're going against the grain.
No, that's not true. That's not true. There are many political parties which do not have that kind of charismatic leaders. I don't think the Badals are particularly charismatic. I don't think Mayawati is particularly charismatic. So therefore, it's not true that you require. Of course, they practice a different kind of politics. Okay. That's another matter. Just as Aam Aadmi Party was able to demonstrate that you can break into this apparent sort of lock that these established and crooked political parties had on the political system by showing that a party which is seen to be different, which is seen to be honest, can defeat them and win elections. Same way, I think it is possible to demonstrate that a party with decentralized leadership which has many faces, many credible faces rather than just one credible and charismatic face, can also win elections.
That's a very interesting proposition. It's one that many will watch with eagerness to see whether you're right or wrong. Let me come to a third problem that you could face if you launch a political party. Political parties are expensive things. They need funds. They need resources for campaigns. Have you got the money?
No, we are not launching a political party yet. Even for this campaign, we may need some money. But I am sure that there are enough idealistic people in this country who are willing to support such ventures and such efforts, such idealistic efforts.
So you will
to
be
change the
actively
country for the
fundraising.
better.
You will
Just
be actively fundraising.
Not, I mean, actively only to the extent that we need some funds. We won't need too many funds for this kind of, mostly
Okay.
it will be a self-funded exercise, but some funds, whatever is required, would be raised, and I am sure just as people donated transparently to the Aam Aadmi Party, a lot of people, idealistic people donated from all over the world. I am sure that idealistic people are there to donate sufficient funds or minimal funds that are required for this kind of a campaign.
You may well be right. Let me then come to, in the brief time left to us, to the relationship that you and Yogendra Yadav have or are likely to have with the Aam Aadmi Party, which as yet you still are technically members of. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party leadership, through the face and voice of Ashutosh, made it clear that today at a Political Affairs Committee meeting, your Samaj meeting of yesterday will be discussed. It's likely that disciplinary action will be taken against you and perhaps also against many of the members of the party who attended yesterday's meeting. Are you ready and prepared to be expelled from the Aam Aadmi Party? Because that's what's being threatened.
Well, we have already been expelled twice, once from the Political Affairs Committee, then from the National Executive. It will not come as any surprise if we are expelled from the primary membership of the party itself, as indeed one of the members of the National Executive was, without even issuing him a show cause notice.
Okay.
The way this party is functioning now, it reminds one of Alice in Wonderland, where the Queen said, "Off with his head, let the execution take place and let the trial follow."
And
So
Arvind, is Arvind the Queen you have in mind? Is that how you now see and describe Arvind, a dictatorial queen?
Well, that's the kind of thing that has been happening in the party. If you see the kind of rules and the provisions of the constitution that have been flouted, it is not funny. I mean, almost every rule in the book, every rule in the constitution has been flouted by the party, unfortunately.
Can I come back to this?
The control of Arvind
Can I come back to the possibility of your and Yogendra Yadav being expelled? If or perhaps when you are expelled, do you expect the party to split?
Well, I don't know what you mean by split, etc. You see, what has happened is that a lot of people, whoever has said anything in our support, whoever has questioned our expulsion, whoever has questioned the flouting of the founding principles in the party, is being expelled or has been suspended. Now, if half the people in the party are going to be suspended for trying to follow the founding principles of the party, trying to bring Swaraj, which was the basic reason why this party was founded, then whether you call it a split or whatever, it is irrelevant. The point is that I think the majority of the people who became members of the party with great idealism, etc., are already very disillusioned with the manner in which the party has been functioning. And unless the party or the people who control it are able to mend their ways, and until that happens, I am sure that the majority of the people who founded the party will leave it.
Well, you know, you say you're sure the majority of the people who founded the party will leave it, but the truth is that the vast majority, in fact, the preponderant majority of the party's MLAs and MPs are not with you. What proportion of the membership, the ordinary membership, is likely to side with you on this issue of defending the principles to which they are devoted?
No, I think the vast majority of the members, founding members, MPs, MP candidates, etc., are opposed to the flouting of the founding principles of the party, or what they see as the flouting of the founding principles of the party, were opposed to our expulsion from the PAC and the national executive, etc. And the question is, they see the party as their party. They have created the party. It is not merely Arvind and a few members of his coterie who have created the party,
But
though
the
they are
MPs
today in
and
de facto
MLAs, bar
control
one,
of the
are
party.
silent. They haven't come out in your support.
Yes, because no, a lot of them have expressed their views. Whether they do so very stridently, very publicly or not is a different thing. But clearly, if you see the kind of
So you're
opinion
saying to
polls
me,
that were done within
you're saying
the
to me that
volunteers-
there is a deep vein of possibly silent support from MPs and MLAs, that they cannot go public because of some fear they may have, but there is a deep vein of silent support for you and your Kendra.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very clear. If you see the kind of polls, etc., that were conducted within members and supporters of the party, that fact is absolutely clear.
Okay. My last question, Prashant Bhushan, how much do you blame Arvind Kejriwal for what's happened, and how much do you blame the people around him who may have filled his ears with wrong advice?
Oh, I think unfortunately Arvind has to share much of the blame, because if you surround yourself with people who are yes men, then you are likely to get the wrong advice. And if you say, well, if I am faced with a choice where I can surround myself with people who may be the right people but who may disagree with me, on the other hand with people who may be the wrong people and who are yes men, and if it's clear that Arvind has chosen the latter.
So in other words, you're saying that Arvind is not the right sort of man to be the leader of the new type of political party you thought you were creating, and which clearly didn't happen. He was the wrong choice to be leader of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Unfortunately, the kind of flaws in his character and personality that have emerged are fatal. That's what I had been telling him, that you have a lot of good qualities, but you have two fatal flaws, and you need to take care of them. That is your desire to control the decision making, as well as your willingness to use unethical means. Unfortunately, he has neither been able to nor even tried to control them, and these qualities have manifested themselves in a more severe form, especially after the
Prashant,
election.
my last question. You make him sound like Coriolanus or a Shakespearean Greek tragic hero. The flaws are inherent in his character and personality. There's nothing he can do about that. They will inevitably bring him down. That's what you make him sound like, a Greek hero or a tragic hero.
That's what it appears to be. I am still hoping that he will be able to correct these things. It will take a heroic effort on his part to be able to correct these things. I still wish him well. I hope that the Delhi government that he heads will deliver on many of its promises, will be able to work at least on some of the founding principles of the party, and so I hope that he'll be able to do all that.
Prashant Bhushan, let's leave it there. My thanks to you for giving me this exclusive interview.